Yeah, compared to V1, yeah, very different. On paper, it's all the feature that I'm going to develop, but how we actually visualize that and create that, depending on what type of engineers, depending on what type of designer you work with, they flourish in a very different angle, right? I don't think I miss V1 at this point, because we were able to achieve everything that I wanted to achieve in the V1 into this V3. Technically, this isn't V3, this is actually V5, but the actual exterior look of shape doesn't really change. I think the biggest shift from V1 to V3, aside from finding different manufacturing, different designer, we stopped thinking about making best stripper in the world. How to even define best, you know? We were able to redefine what's considered just enough. Nothing is too unnecessarily optimized. Just enough height, just enough aeration, just enough to not clog things. So in the beginning, we used a suction cup to make it detachable. Also, it wasn't really a good user experience because depending on how much moisture that builds up, the performance will vary a little bit. If you don't center perfectly, it comes off too easily. Okay, let's actually just glue them on to make sure this can be just one piece. And then there's an inner puck that can be a two-piece thing. We realized we didn't have to have this long of a nozzle. We can actually condense to this small size height and then play around with the curvature of where liquid can come out. That will actually do exactly the same. You know where this specific curvature kind of like inspired from? When you go to gym and when you look at water fountain, you actually see very similar curvature. So liquid can actually go through, so it doesn't actually clog the entire water fountain. How can we make sure that coffee can flow out quickly? And by pushing it up with this specific height of a dome that pushes up the bottom part of the paper filter. Only when someone pours very aggressively. But if you don't pour aggressively, it shouldn't actually push up. Those are some changes we made. And then if you plug it in, yeah. Overall diameter changed quite a bit. So it got definitely more narrower. We explore multiple different lengths that can really improve the aroma of a coffee by actually leveling off the height of the coffee bed. We decided to actually make it airtight because when you use a stainless steel, people always talk about thermal mass. If you get the stainless steel tumbler, everything is vacuum sealed or double walled. So that way actually maintains the temperature of the liquid. So that's kind of what we wanted to do. This whole thing is double walled, airtight. So when you touch it, it's just warm, not hot at all. At the same time, you can still maintain the heat. So those are big changes because before it was actually hollow. So focusing on lowering the temperature right away, we realized we got to extract the coffee before we lower the temperature. So this one will be considered just enough where you can extract really proper coffee. However, it won't actually burn you. But because of this specific design of the puck, it will still lower the temperature a little bit more. How many error correction can we do to strive towards defining just enough? It has to be very simple because from user perspective, we want it to be like, don't worry about it. We got this. It's over-engineered to the point that it's simple. I think that's the best way to put it.